Picture this, January 1947, a freezing New Mexico desert under a star-filled sky. Two alien spacecraft, so the story goes, rip through the atmosphere and crash into the dirt. One slams down near Corona, and from its wreckage, something unreal emerges. A living extraterrestrial, later called EBA. Hurt but alive, he's snatched up by the US military and locked away. Not for a night, not for a month, but for 5 years. Is this just a wild tale, or could it be a peek into something buried deep? What if the government didn't just stumble on a crash? What if they kept a visitor from another world under wraps? Today, we're diving into a mystery that's been humming in the shadows for decades. No one's here to tell you what's real. That's for you to wrestle with. Stick around, and you'll get pulled into a story that might just twist your view of the universe. We're talking a double crash no one explains, 5 years of secrets in a lab, and an ending that feels like a question mark etched in stone. Did they find something out there that night? Did it change what they knew? And why does it still feel like we're only scraping the surface? Let's step into the unknown, because this one's got unsettling written all over it. Let's rewind to January 1947. The world's still reeling from World War II, but out in the New Mexico desert, something else is about to shake things up. Two extraterrestrial spacecraft, so the rumors say, crash into the Earth. One hits near Corona, a speck of a town surrounded by nothing but sand and silence. The other will circle back to that. Imagine it. A dark night, a flash of light, then chaos. Military trucks roll in, tires kicking up dust, and they find something in that first wreck that's straight out of a sci-fi fever dream. A living being, later nicknamed EBA. He's hurt from the crash, but alive. Eyes open, taking it all in. Before anyone can blink, he's gone, whisked off to Los Alamos Laboratories, a place already dripping with classified vibes from the atomic bomb days. Now, here's where it gets fuzzy. Was this a fluke? Two ships dropping out of the sky by chance? Or were they searching for something or someone? The story claims EBA wasn't the only one on board. 5 others, his crew, were pulled from the Corona site, but they didn't make it. Dead, their bodies already breaking down in the desert heat. Who were they? Explorers? Soldiers? Mechanics like EBA's supposed to have been? No answers, just questions. Then, 2 years later, in 1949, a rancher's herding cattle near Pelona Peak, miles from anywhere, and stumbles on another craft. Same eerie design as the first. 2 crashes, 2 years apart, identical tech. Coincidence? Or was something tracking what got lost that night in 47? Think about it. Military boots crunching over wreckage, radios crackling, and a living alien in their hands. Were they prepared for that? Did they even know what they'd grabbed? 2 ships, 5 dead, 1 survivor. What were these things doing out there? And here's the part that hooks you. EBA didn't just get filed away in some dusty vault. He stayed. And that's when this tale veers into territory that's hard to wrap your head around. So, EBA's in US custody now, locked away at Los Alamos, a fortress of secrets. This isn't a quick pit stop. We're talking 5 years, 1947 to 1952. 5 years of what exactly? That's where the story gets downright strange. Picture a sterile room, military guards, and this being, not quite human, sitting there alive, adapting. At first, they say he communicated with hand gestures and crude drawings like something out of a silent film. But then, get this, they supposedly rigged up a device, implanted it in his throat, and EBA started talking. His own language at first, clicks and hums no one could decode, but over time he picked up ours. English, simple math, even bits of science, all taught through pictures and patience. Was he a prisoner, a guest, or something else entirely? They claim EBA was a mechanic from wherever he came from, and he wasn't alone in that facility. An army captain, a master linguist, fluent in who knows how many tongues, moved in with him, full-time, lived with him, ate with him, tried to crack the code of this extraterrestrial mind. Through that bond, EBA allegedly spilled details, his home planet, his ship, maybe more. But let's talk about the basics. What did he even eat? His craft came stocked with food, plant-based stuff, no meat. They tried giving him a burger once, and his stomach said no way. Scientists figured out what his rations were, duplicated them with Earth's best guesses, fruits, veggies, mashed into something he could handle. And how he ate. Wild. No teeth, just two tongues, one above, one below. The top one sucked juices out with tiny suction pads, dissolving an orange like it was nothing. The bottom one, that's what he spoke with. Could you sit across from that and not stare? Everything he did was filmed 16mm reels whirring away, capturing every move. His body, nothing like ours, one organ doing the job of heart and lungs, a simple gut, glands on his hands and legs that swelled up sometimes for reasons no one could guess. He stood 4'3", 60 pounds, wrapped in a skin-tight suit that kept him warm or cool no matter what. 5 years with an alien mechanic, were they picking his brain, or was he sizing them up? What would you do with that kind of access? Because here's the thing. 5 years is a long time for a secret this big to stay under wraps. 5 years in, and EBA's still at Los Alamos, under lock and key, but not exactly silent. By now, the whispers are starting to leak out. Who saw him? Who talked? That army captain, EBA's full-time shadow, becomes the centerpiece here. They say he wasn't just a babysitter. He was the bridge, decoding EBA's words, piecing together fragments of a world we can't even imagine. Through him, EBA supposedly shared bits about his planet, water everywhere, universal stuff, and his ship's tech. But here's the jaw-dropper. They claim EBA helped set up a communication link. Yeah, a cosmic hotline from Earth to wherever he came from, using gear salvaged from his craft. Imagine that, a signal pinging out into the void. Who was listening on the other end? Everything EBA did was caught on film. Those old 16mm projectors rolling, documenting every twitch, every meal. The captain wasn't alone watching either. Scientists poked and prodded, but EBA stayed calm, docile even. He'd touch people, hug them like it was his way of saying hello. A social norm from his culture or something deeper. They say he understood why he was there, the alien under the microscope, and didn't fight it. High IQ, no ego. But not everyone could handle him. Germs were a big worry, his and ours. The captain wore masks, kept isolated, while EBA. He'd rip any mask off his face like it was an insult. Eventually, they gave up trying. Then there's the medical kit from his ship, tubes and tools no one could figure out at first. EBA showed them how to use it, patching himself up when a rash flared. Was he teaching them or just surviving? Those reels of film, those whispered accounts. What's on them now? Locked in some vault or burned to ash? The captain walked away with stories he couldn't unhear, and maybe a broken heart. If EBA was reaching out to his people, did they answer? 5 years in, something had to give, and whatever came next wasn't going to stay quiet forever. Now we're at the edge. September 1952. 5 years since EBA crashed into our world. Something's wrong. He starts fading, medical issues piling up. A rash hits earlier and he shrugs it off with that weird kit from his ship. But this time, it's different. Military docs, civilian experts, they throw everything at him, but nothing sticks. He's withering away, and no one knows why. Here's the eerie part. EBA seems to get it. They say he tried explaining. Death wasn't an end for him, just a new level, a step up. Was he ready to go? Imagine that. Calmly staring down the void while everyone around him scrambles. That army captain, his constant companion, isn't so cool about it. Word is, he's wrecked, emotional scars that linger for years. EBA's not fighting, not scared, just done. And then he's gone. Dead, 1952, after 5 years in a lab. But the story doesn't stop there. Some claim that communication link he helped build, it worked. His people got the message. Picture this. Crafts showing up later, same design as before, swooping in to grab EBA and his dead crew from 47. Did they come back for him? Was that signal a beacon, a last call home? Or did the military just box it all up and call it a day? What happened to EBA's body? The suit he wore, elastic, heat-proof, unidentifiable. Did it go with him? No one's talking. 5 years of footage, notes, that captain's grief, all locked away, if it even still exists. Was it over when he died? Or did they bury it deeper? If his kind came back, what did they find? An empty cell or a cover-up already in motion? This ending's less a period and more a giant question mark. So, where does that leave us? Rewind to 47, 2 crashes in the New Mexico desert. A living alien named EBA scooped up and held at Los Alamos. 5 years of whispers, talking through implants, eating with suction tongues, maybe even calling home. Then 1952 hits and he's gone, fading out with a shrug while his people might have swooped in to claim him. It's a story that starts with a bang and ends with a shrug, leaving more loose ends than a frayed rope. Was any of it real? That's the kicker. No one's handing us the answer key. Think about it. If EBA was here, if those crafts were real, what else might have slipped through the cracks? 5 years is a long time to keep a lid on something this big. Too long for no one to talk. Are those 16mm films rotting in a vault somewhere? Did that captain's heartbreak bury the truth with him? Or, and here's the chill down your spine, what if this wasn't the only visitor? What if there's more locked away in files we'll never see? This tale's a rabbit hole. Once you're in, good luck climbing out. So what do you think? Hoax, cover-up, or something we're not ready to face? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your take. If this kind of mystery gets your brain buzzing, hit that subscribe button. We've got more shadows to explore. Share this with someone who'd stare into the abyss with you, because stories like EBA's don't just fade. They linger, waiting for someone to ask the right questions.